My name is Sana, and this is the story of the worst night of my life. People often say marriage is a dream come true, a beautiful beginning of love and happiness. But for me, it was the beginning of pain, fear, and silence. From childhood, I had many dreams about my wedding. I imagined a caring husband, a partner who would respect me, someone who would hold my hand and make me feel safe. But destiny had other plans. One evening, my father called me to the sitting room. His face was serious, his voice firm. "Sana, we have accepted a marriage proposal for you. The wedding will be soon." My heart dropped. I didn't even know the man. I had never spoken to him. "But Baba," I whispered, "I don't feel ready. I don't even know him." My father frowned. "This is not about what you feel. Families have decided. You will marry him. Don't argue." Tears burned my eyes, but I stayed silent. In my home, saying no was not an option. The man's name was Kamran. He was my cousin, but very different from me. His voice was loud, his temper quick, his eyes always hard. People called him strong, but to me he looked cold, almost like a monster in human form. During the engagement, he never smiled, never spoke kindly. He just looked at me with eyes that made me uncomfortable. Deep in my heart, I knew I didn't want this. But no one listened to me. Finally, the wedding day arrived. Relatives danced, music played, laughter filled the house. Everyone was happy, except me. I wore the heavy red dress, gold jewelry, and fake smile. Inside, my soul was crying. As the rituals ended, people congratulated us, saying, "You two look perfect together." If only they knew the truth. We were not perfect. We were prisoners of tradition. That night, I was sent to the bridal room. The bed was decorated with red flowers. The air smelled of roses and smoke from candles. My heart beat fast, not with excitement, but with fear. Minutes later, Cameron entered. His steps were heavy, his face without any emotion. He closed the door loudly and sat on the bed. His eyes scanned me, not with love, but like a predator looking at prey. I looked down, my hands shaking. I prayed silently, "Ya Allah, give me strength." But what happened next broke me completely. He didn't say a gentle word. He didn't smile. He didn't even try to make me feel safe. Instead, his voice was hard. "So, now you are my wife. Remember, you will do as I say. No questions, no arguments." My throat went dry. This was not the start of love. This was the start of control. I tried to speak softly. "Kamran, I am nervous. This is new for me." He laughed coldly. "Nervous? You better learn quickly. You belong to me now." His words cut like a knife. There was no kindness, no care, only arrogance. The night dragged on in silence and fear. There were no kisses, no gentle touch, no romance. Just heavy breathing, angry eyes, and a room filled with tension. At one point, I dared to ask, "Do you even want this marriage?" He glared at me. "What I want doesn't matter. You are mine now." That's enough. I felt my body tremble. Tears rolled down my cheeks, but I wiped them quickly, afraid he might get angry. My dream of a loving first night was shattered into pieces. Hours passed like years. I sat quietly, holding my dupatta close, wishing the night would end. Kamran lay on the bed, careless and distant, while I curled in a corner, broken and helpless. I remembered all the stories girls tell each other about their first night, how beautiful, romantic, and emotional it is. But mine was nothing like that. Mine was cold, harsh, and dark. No love, no emotions, no safety, only fear. The next morning, relatives knocked on the door. expecting to see a shy bride glowing with happiness. I washed my face and forced a smile. Nobody could see the monster behind my husband's face. Nobody could see the scars he left on my heart. From that day, I understood a bitter truth. Marriage without love is a prison, and sometimes the person you marry can be worse than a stranger. That night was only the beginning of living with a man who acted more like a monster than a husband. And this was only part one of my story. The days after my wedding were not filled with love, but with silence, fear, and control. From the very first night, I understood that my husband, Kamran, was not just strict. He was like a monster in human skin. He didn't treat me as a partner. He treated me as property. Every morning, I would prepare breakfast and wait for even a small word of kindness. But all I heard was his cold voice. The tea is not hot. The bread is too soft. Why are you so slow? It didn't matter how hard I tried, nothing was ever enough. In front of the family, he acted normal. He smiled when elders were around, spoke politely with guests, and pretended to be a good husband. People would say, "Sana, you are lucky. Kamran is such a strong and confident man." But behind closed doors, his true face appeared. His eyes turned hard, his voice became sharp. I felt trapped in a house that looked beautiful from the outside, but was dark and suffocating inside. Nights were the hardest. For most couples, the night brings closeness, warmth, and whispers of love. But in my marriage, nights were filled with cold silence. Kamran never asked about my feelings. He never tried to know me. There were no soft words, no laughter, no gentle touch. Just a bed we shared like strangers, strangers tied by force, not by choice. Sometimes he spoke harshly. "Don't expect me to act like those romantic men you see in stories. This is real life. You are my wife." And that is enough. I wanted to scream, "No, this is not enough." But my voice stayed locked in my throat. As weeks passed, my health started to suffer. I lost weight, my eyes looked tired, and my heart felt heavy all the time. My mother noticed and asked me, "Are you happy, Beta?" I wanted to tell her everything. I wanted to cry in her lap like a child. But I knew she would only say, "Be patient. Every marriage has problems." So I smiled and lied. "Yes, Ami, I am fine," but inside I was dying a little every day. One night I gathered courage and said to Kamran, "Why did you marry me if you don't care? Why are you so cold?" He stared at me, his jaw tight. "Because families decided. That's enough. Stop asking for things that don't exist." His words crushed me. Marriage without care, without respect, without love, it felt worse than loneliness. Time taught me many painful lessons. I learned that a husband is not automatically a partner. A ring and a wedding don't create love. Love is born when two hearts choose each other freely, when they care and respect one another. But in my marriage, love never existed. Only duty, only pressure, only fear. Sometimes I looked at young girls in my village who dreamed of their weddings with shining eyes. They imagined romance, flowers, laughter. I wanted to tell them the truth. A forced marriage can steal all of that. Don't let anyone chain your happiness. Months passed, and I became like a shadow of myself. I stopped laughing. I stopped dreaming. Even my diary, once filled with hopes, was now filled with tears. I wrote one line again and again. Marriage with a monster is worse than no marriage at all. One evening I visited my cousin, who had a love marriage. Her husband opened the door for her, carried the groceries, and asked with genuine care, "Are you tired, love?" I watched them talk, laugh, and share small jokes. The way he looked at her, with kindness, with respect, with real love, was everything I had wished for. That night, I cried harder than ever. Not because I was jealous, but because I realized how wrong my life had become. And so, I decided to speak my truth, not just for myself, but for every girl and boy who might face the same fate. My message is clear. Marriage is not a cage. A partner is not a monster. A wedding should not be the death of dreams. Marriage should be the beginning of love, respect, and understanding. If there is no love, no respect, no emotions, then marriage becomes a prison with golden walls. Families must understand, forcing two people to marry does not create happiness. It only creates broken lives. And to every young heart listening to my story, please, don't let anyone steal your right to choose. Say no before it's too late. Stand for yourself, because silence can cost you your entire life. Today, I am still living in this marriage. People see me with Cameron and think we are fine, but only I know the truth. I share my house with a man, but not my soul. I live with a husband, but not with love, and that is why I call it marriage with a monster. The worst first night of my life taught me one lesson that I will never forget. Without love, without respect, marriage is nothing but a dark prison.